Oh, no, 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 no. So annoying. What a blow. This was going to be the turning point of the game. I can't believe we're missing it. So annoying. Now, haven't we all lived this situation before? Whether it's buffering, low resolution, high latency, spoiling the experience? So, what do we do? There are real solutions to avoid these problems. Now is the time to plan ahead, as there are big events coming up. It was just the Olympics not long ago, and the next one are already coming up. The big football tournaments are back too, or soccer for my friend across the pond. And thinking of it, the American football is back on too, with the Super Bowl only a few months away. Now let's look at the challenge with video streaming and live video delivery. I think there are two issues here. The demand is high and it is synchronized. You see everyone connects at the same time and the networks get very busy for a short time. This creates very high peaks of traffic that can be very difficult to manage. Also, delivering live video is tough, right, compared to on demand. When you deliver live video, you cannot store it in advance in the video player. Otherwise, you increase the latency. That's the delay between streaming and broadcast, so you have to deliver in real time. Now, talking about latency, it remains a challenge with video streaming. No one wants to see the Twitter notification on their phone before the goal on TV. So high latency gets a yellow card. Now, if you want to reduce the latency, what do you need? There are three things that are required. The first one is packaging the video into very small chunks. So support for CMAF on the origin server with optimization like low latency HLS or dash low latency. The second one is in the distribution. You need a CDN supporting CMAF chunk transfer encoding and HTTP2 for low latency HLS. And now the third thing, you need to bring it. See, we can build you a racing car, but for it to perform, you really need a racetrack. And that's where you need to bring a network that is perfect. Or nearly perfect. So a very good question at this point is, how do I make my network nearly perfect? It comes down to optimizing the delivery, right? Making the network more deterministic, more reliable. And there are two ways to do it. The first one is to reduce the distance between where the content is served from to the end user. That's distributing the CDN capacity closer to the consumers to avoid potential problems. And by reducing the network distance, you reduce the probability of something going wrong. We see customers today deploying more caches closer to the consumers because in the video world, proximity means quality. Now, second option, if it's available, is to leverage multicast technology. You may know multicast from the days of old school IPTV delivery, when it was used to deliver video to a set-top box, but these days are gone, right? And here, I'm talking about combining multicast with adaptive bitrate technology, ABR. And this enables you to scale streaming to any device in the home. See, with multicast ABR, you get the scalability of multicast combined with the versatility of ABR. One thing that sometimes is overlooked is the fact that low latency is a double-edged sword. It can cut both ways, right? So when we use small chunks and reduce the amount of video stored in the video players, we can improve the quality by reducing the latency, and that's great. But it can also degrade the experience by introducing buffering or freezes, right? And that's what happens when there is not enough content stored to cushion or absorb the network problems. Now, we know that rebuffering is the enemy in streaming. It is the leading cause of abandonment of programs, and it will cause customer churn if it happens too often. So we don't want that. Rebuffering gets the red card. So, streaming live content with the minimum latency is a fine balance. Basically, the trick is to find out how much content we need to keep in the video player to avoid rebuffering. This will depend on the network, as we know now. And it's possible that your mobile network may target 8 seconds of latency to be on the safe side, whereas for your set-top box connected to a fiber network, you may be targeting a latency around 3 or 4 seconds. The tool to tweak this parameter is A/B testing. It allows to experiment on a small sample of the population to validate the effect before rolling it out to everyone. And customers start to use A/B testing to tweak the targeted latency for optimal results. Finally, you may need to take a look at the maximum CDN capacity available. We know that CDNs are sized for peaks, right? You deploy your expected capacity for the busiest time. But what happens if your country makes it to the final of the competition? And especially if you would not have bet on your country going very far, right? This is when masses of people may end up streaming the event, and it could be impossible to predict the size of the peak. Also, on the flip side, you would deploy a very large CDN that could be idle 99% of the time. So one idea here is to add temporary CDN capacity. CDN that is deployed for a limited amount of time with the right commercial and technical arrangements. One example is by using virtualized CDN capacity deployed inside your private cloud infrastructure. This way, the CDN capacity can follow demand and does not require dedicated machines. And I have here with me Steven Spelisi, Vice President of Service Provider Marketing at VMware, to tell us more.
VMware provides CSPs with a unified platform to support distributed workloads across multiple clouds from the core extending out to the edge. We enable elastic scalability for CSPs to deliver live sport video streaming in order to maximize the fan experience. VMware's Tanzu for Telco enables BroadPeak to containerize CDN functions and adapt to high bitrate live video streaming by simply instantiating CDN capacity dynamically when and as it is needed.
Start planning now to stream the next sports event with the best quality of experience.